Now then, welcome to the channel and bonnie Scotland. We're in Moffatt Dale this morning. We parked just down the road there at Blackhope, and we've just walked back down the road a bit over the first beck and then through this gate down here before we get to Gill, which you can see up there, and we've got to go up there. So from all accounts it's steep and it's long bracken, so we'll see when we go up. Apparently you can go up either side of the ravine, and the left hand side the bracken's apparently not so bad. So anyway, what we're doing today, we're going to do the Hart Ridge horseshoe. So it's a Corbett, which is Hart Fell, and a couple of Donalds, which are Swatte Fell, and another one I've forgotten. I can see it up there, under something. I'll tell you when we get up there anyway. Right, so we're going to make our way through this field. There's a gate up in the corner up there, then see how we're going to get up by the side of Gill. Right, so while we're getting up there, let's have a look at the route. So we're over that gate in the top corner of the field. I think we're gonna stick on this side of Gill and take on the bracken. It looks to be a decent enough path through it. Right, so it's going to be steep, but I don't think the bracken lasts too long really. I can see the end of it up there. Right, up we go. Well, in terms of bracken, it's not actually as bad as I was expecting. In terms of gradient, it's steep. I don't think we've got much more of this steep bit to do now. I think we're over halfway anyway. That path's a bit slippy in places as well, but we're making our way. Stunning. It's a bit hazy all around, but that might clear up as the day goes on. Right, onwards. So that's the first steep ascent done, and through the bracken. It wasn't too bad really. The worst bit actually was last section when gradient eased off. Charlie's just had a paddle in here. That stone that I chucked in there took him by surprise at how deep it was. It took me by surprise as well. Little plunge pool that. Right, so we're gonna carry on up here. I think the first objective is it's a Donald called Swatte Fell. So right, we're heading up there. So that behind me now, in front of us in the direction of travel, is Black Crag. Got to get over that before we get to Swatte Fell. It's a bit boggy this path as well. Apparently this isn't the boggiest bit. That's over by, I think it's under Saddle Yoke, is it, around that area? That's supposed to be boggy over there, I think. It's a gorgeous morning now, and nobody else around. Right, upwards. Ah well, don't you just love a false summit? There's me thinking that we're at top of Black Crag. Hang on. And we've still got up there to go. Oh, I'm ready for a coffee already as well. We've set off early this morning, so everything will be early, I think. Oh, so yeah, when we get to top of Black Crag, coffee and chew, I think. Right upwards. Oh, blooming heck. Yet another false summit. It's turning into a bit of a slog, is it? It's been just a constant up ever since we left the road. And you won't be able to make out on here, but I hope they hang around. I can see some goats on top of that outcrop. Oh, when we get to top of Black Crag as well, we should be able to see pretty much the rest of our route. Oh, right, up there. Well, that's us eventually onto the end of Black Crag. There's another high point up there. I don't think that's Swatte fell yet, but when we get to that high point up there, I'll give you a look at the rest of our route. I think you'll be able to see it from up there. And goats were good, weren't they? Oh, right, some more up. Right, so here we are just below the top of Nethercombe Craig. It's spelt Craig, or is it pronounced Craig or is it Crag? And this is where we're going. Right round that ridge, right up to the high point in the skyline, and then back down this middle ridge here. And this is under Saddle Yoke and Saddle Yoke. And then right back down that ridge and back to the car. Yeah, so it should be good. So we're just going to head up here to this high point, and that's where we're going to have our coffee and a chew. Well, we branched off the good quad track that we were following onto a fainter path up towards this gate, which I'd marked on GPS as being the top of Swatte Fell, but it's not. It's back up there, that high point back up there. And we're not trudging up there. It's got a bit boggy, a few peat hags around as well. So yeah, if you want to do Swatte Fell, which is a Donald, the summit's back up there, we're not bothering. So I think the next one for us is our main objective of the day, which is the core bit of Hart Fell. So on we go. So here we are, top of Hart Fell, and I've not done much filming coming up there, to be honest. From Swatte Fell to here, it's just been a bit of a tedious slog. There's not been anything to see, it's just been a grassy quad track, and you have no views for the rounds of the hills, and all the far distance hills, they're all hazy. With that behind me now, that over there, that's our way down. So I think we're gonna stop here and have an early lunch. Well, we've had our lunch. Very pleasant it was as well. And it all of a sudden got a bit like Piccadilly Circus up there. 2 joggers with the dogs. But no, it's great. We've hardly seen anybody, just them two all day so far. And by the looks of it, I think this could be a bit tedious again, coming down here just following this fence line. I think it might get a bit more exciting when we get onto the ridge over other side, between under whatever it's called and its mate. I can't remember them. Well, we've got decent views that way. I've absolutely no idea what any of these hills are called. That might be looking up to, is it the Galloway Hills? I don't know. If you know any of the names of the hills around here, let us know. I think over the other side of our return route, I think that's looking over towards Whitecombe, is it? That's you can do that if you go up Greymare's Tail, can't you? Right, so we'll continue to plod our way along by this fence line. So we're heading along towards Hart Fell Rig now, and that's looking down on what I think it's called Fluid Reservoir, and over the fells. I have no idea what they're called. Nice view though, isn't it? But I think that's looking over to Whitecombe. I'm not entirely sure about that either. And then that's where we're going back down over. Right, so we'll continue along this fence line. So we're descending down off Hart Fell Rig now, and the path has led us rather squelchily away from the fence line over there. It goes through a right Pete Hags down there, does that fence line. I don't know if you can make it out on here, see that? So our path is going to like cut the corner off. I can just make it out, you won't be able to see on here, but I can just make it out going diagonally up the side of the hill over there. Right, so we'll squelch our way down here to go back up the other side. Down we go. So we're continuing to squelch our way along, and we've just passed the low point there, the head of the valley. So annoyingly, we've come down from all the way up there and beyond to go all the way up there. Oh, where's it gone? Back that way. There to under Saddle Yoke, which is a Donald. And quite bizarrely, under Saddle Yoke is actually higher than Saddle Yoke. Because, oh, now then, this is a squelchy bit. Oh, right. Oh, we'll see if we can try and stay reasonably dry, which could be easier said than done. Oh, well, Charlie's over anyway. Hang on. Right here, I think. Oh, right. Up we go. So we're starting to climb up towards under Saddle Yoke now, and the path's dried out a bit as we've climbed out of the bottom of the valley. I think that, hang on, there right behind me, just coming into view now, I think that's White Coombe. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it is. So that's a hill you can do from Greymare's Tail. I've walked up Greymare's Tail up to Lock at the top. I've not carried on to do any of the hills. So, yeah, might have to do that. Oh, still nobody around now. Oh, I'm glad this gradient's not too steep. My legs, they've about had enough of climbing today, and they're not in the mood for it today for some reason. Right, upwards we go. So here we are on under Saddle Yoke, and it's got a bit more dramatic all of a sudden. That's looking over to the ridge we walked up this morning, and the crags under the hills, they look a lot more spectacular than the hills that as we were actually walking over them, didn't they? Right, so we dropped down this gully here, and then over onto Saddle Yoke, which is actually lower than this. This is the Donald, and we're not that far from the car now. It's only a mile and a half or so from Saddle Yoke, and then we've got a view up to the other side of valley, which no idea what them hills are over there. And that's over the valley at the other side of us. Right, so we'll get on down here and up onto Saddle Yoke. So that's us over Saddle Yoke, and now we've pretty much just dropped down this ridge straight in front of us, and the scenery has all of a sudden improved dramatically since we just kind of got to the top of under Saddle Yoke. It just all opened up, and it's brilliant now. Great scenery. I mean, over there it was just grassy hills following a quad track next to a fence line. You can't see a thing, but I mean, looking over to them now, the crags are amazing, and then coming over under Saddle Yoke just there, that was dramatic. Just see it behind us there, look. Yeah, that was good. I mean, when I was researching this walk, I saw a video that was actually called Saving the Best Till Last, and I think that's right. Yeah, Yeah, much better. I mean, we've only got about 1.75 miles left now. We can cope with this for our way down. Right, we'll see you in a bit. So that's a good view looking up the valley that we've just walked round. Yeah, certainly more dramatic over this side than the other side. Yeah, it's marvellous actually. So we just carry on down this ridge now. Yep, down we go. Well, that bit of descent that you can see behind me, that was steep coming down there. But we're nearly back in the valley now. Sun's come out. All the haze from this morning has burnt off. I mean, that's looking up the valley that we've just walked around. It looks good from down here, doesn't it? Didn't look particularly good from up there. Right, so we're nearly back onto the track, so we'll get down there and then I'll say ta-ra. So we're on the track now that leads us back to where we parked, and that's actually one of the best views of the day, isn't it? Looking back up the valley that we've just walked right round. What can I say about it? The highlight of going up that side was the goats on Black Crag, and then it all got a bit tedious after that, right until we got up there onto under whatever it's called. I can remember it when I'm not filming. I can remember what it's called. As soon as I turn camera on, I can't remember what it's called. But certainly the best 2 miles have been these last two from up there. So it's been mixed. I mean, we've had good views. Weather's been nice. I mean, that view there, it's stunning, isn't it? So it's been all right, I suppose, overall. It's been quiet. We've seen 3 people and 3 dogs all the way around, which for a Saturday morning with a lovely forecast, you wouldn't get that in lakes, would you? So no, overall it's been a good day. Hope you've enjoyed it as well. If you have, please do the usual, the liking, subscribing, ring the notification bell, commenting, sharing, all the usual malarkey, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Tra!